Why is it that some people walk into a meeting and instantly command attention, while others struggle to get noticed, even if they've got the best ideas? It's not luck, it's not politics. The difference is influence. And according to an article published by Harvard Business Review, influence rests on 4 key components. And the incredible thing is that a group of ancient philosophers called the Stoics were writing about these same 4 components over 2,000 years ago. So let's break down each of the 4. I'll show you what they are, how they work, and how you can apply them to your workplace. Let's get into it. Positional power is the authority that comes from your title or role. If you're a manager, then it's directing a team. If you're an executive, it may be making strategic calls. And this is the most commonly used method to influence people. And you see it everywhere. You'll sometimes see leaders hide behind their title. Because I said so, that's the decision. This isn't up for debate. And while that may get you compliance in the short term, it doesn't inspire true long-term loyalty. So how can positional power be used for good? Well, when it is used well, it can provide clarity and direction. If your team is stuck on a particular debate, then a decisive leader making a call can often cut through that paralysis and help the team move forward. Authority can give members in your team the confidence that there is structure, that there is accountability, and that someone is taking responsibility. Well, how does this link back to the Stoics? Well, Marcus Aurelius, he was arguably the most powerful man alive. And in his meditations, he constantly reminded himself not to be corrupted by the power of his position. He wrote, "Take care not to be Caesarified or dyed with purple. It happens, guard yourself." He knew that his title could inflate his ego, and that ego could destroy his influence. And so the Stoics believed that power without virtue is fragile, it's breakable. Seneca warned, "A kingdom founded on injustice never lasts." If your leadership only rests on your job title, then it will disappear the moment your title does. But if it's built on integrity and character, then it will endure for the long term. So here's the practice. Use your titles sparingly. Don't lean on phrases like, "because I said so," or "I'm the boss, it's my decision, it's not up for debate." You should persuade first, guide second, and reserve your authority for when it's truly needed. Influence that's built on respect lasts far longer than influence built on hierarchy. The second component of influence is emotion, the ability to connect with one's feelings, not just to their logic. Logic can win arguments, but it's emotion that wins long-term commitment. So what does this look like in practice? Well, if you're in a meeting and someone speaks with energy and enthusiasm, you can see the room shift. Or maybe when a leader speaks to a team's frustration and the whole team then feels understood, that's connecting with their emotions, with their feelings. Now contrast that to the leader who drowns people with data. It never stirs belief in them because it just falls flat, even if their argument is right. So how can emotional influence be used for the good? Well, when it's used well, it can create unity in a group. It helps inspire them and push them through a particular challenge. So where does this link to the Stoics? Well, they had a very complex view on emotions. The word stoic in modern times is often misassigned to someone who's emotionless, who has no depth to their emotions. But the Stoics saw emotions as natural. They just believed that you shouldn't be controlled by them. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And this is where influence begins, because if you can't govern your own emotions, then you'll struggle to inspire emotions in other people. Seneca, another famous Stoic, also recognized the impact of emotion in moving others. He wrote, "Reason will direct you rightly, but you must add emotion to make it effective." He wasn't suggesting that you manipulate people. That's certainly not what his intentions were, but he meant that you should communicate it in a certain way that connects to the human heart. And Marcus Aurelius added another layer. He often reminded himself that you should meet fear with courage and anger with calm. He said the best revenge is to not be like the enemy. And in corporate life, that translates into composure. When you keep your calmness amongst a storm, then you often win the trust and the influence with others around you. So here's the practice. When you're next in a conversation or leading a team meeting, ask yourself, what emotions do I want this room to feel? Is it confident? Is it excitement? Is it unity? And then speak in a particular way that embodies that emotion. As Maya Angelou famously said, it's not what you say, but the way that you make people feel that they'll remember. So how do you know if you've got expertise in your particular field? Well, often your colleagues will come to you with problems. You'll be the one who reads reports, who analyzes a situation and advises others around you. Now contrast that with the colleague who speaks loudly but adds little substance. Their influence is shallow and it's limited. So how can it be used for good? Well, expertise means that you're avoiding costly mistakes. You're often doing the right and the best thing. And it means that those around you are often very confident because they feel like they're in the most capable hands. But also expertise is about being generous with your knowledge. Give insights, share value to your colleagues. It's not about hoarding it for yourself, but it's about sharing it with others. So how does this relate back to the Stoics? Well, for them, it was not just a mastery of career success, but it was a mastery of virtue. Epictetus wrote, "No great thing is created suddenly, but little by little." Expertise is built daily through patience and discipline. And Marcus Aurelius also knew that challenges were what led to expertise. He famously said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Expertise aren't interruptions to your growth, they are the curriculum. Every setback, every difficult question, every challenge you're facing, that's the forge where you create your expertise. Seneca tied it all together nicely. He said, "We should not say that a man is learned because he can read and write, but because he has trained his mind to face every situation." So here's the practice. In your own work, think about a situation where you can develop your knowledge. You can go from good to great or great to greatest. Be so reliable that people start deferring to you. The fourth and final component of influence is non-verbal signals. This is the presence, your tone, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself. Often people decide whether to listen to you before you have even said a word. Now contrast that with the person who sits calmly. They speak slowly. They use pauses, and often they command the room even without raising their voice. So how can it be used for good? Well, non-verbal influence can create psychological safety. Calmness can steady a room full of tenseness. A pause, a confident pause, can give space for people to think about what you just said. And your presence alone can diffuse the tension amongst a team facing a lot of pressure. The Stoics placed immense pressure on composure. They believed your character radiates through your presence long before you've even spoken. Marcus Aurelius captured it perfectly. He said, "Be like the rock against which the waves break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it." That image signifies non-verbal influence. It's the calm strength that reassures others. Epictetus taught that self-control is the foundation of freedom. He said that no man is free who is not master of himself. So if you fidget or you rush or you let your nerves dominate you, then you signal insecurity. But if you show that you've got steadiness, then people will trust you because of it. So presence matters. How you hold yourself in every moment is influence in action. And in the workplace, your body language can either add weight to your words or it'll erode them completely. So here's how to use this in practice. The next time you enter a meeting, slow your speech just a little. Engage in eye contact. Allow speech to fill the gaps between your sentences. These small adjustments will project composure, and composure is contagious. So those are the 4 key components of influence: positional power, emotion, expertise, and non-verbal signals. And most people lean too heavily onto one of these. They lean into their role or their title, or they believe that their technical skills will be enough to get them through. But influence is holistic and it includes all 4 of these key components. So if you found this video useful, please like and subscribe for more Stoic strategies in videos to come. And please drop a comment below on which of these 4 areas of influence you're going to focus on next. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.